one thing I've often said is you need to be smart to work in a law firm or work as a lawyer, but you need to be stupid to stay as one. And the reason why is once you soon realize that like you can only scale human hours up until a certain point, let's say maximum 18 hours a day, but you can't, but that as a business model is just by default limiting. We basically crack open the opportunities in ways which I don't think many other corporate advisors can, because again, they're very corporate. They operate in the same way corporates do. We're operating like a startup, like we're aggressive. I think probably undiagnosed ADHD, and we're just putting that all into a business so that clients can benefit. There's a big gap in the market for clients who are more sophisticated. When I say client, I don't even like using the word clients. I say businesses, CEOs, founders who are more sophisticated than the early stage startup, where they just need to be scrappy, young, and quick, and they need to have a bit more sophisticated support. The market that services that are usually like mid-tier firms of like 100 people, a lot of bloat, generally mid-tier lawyers, which I'm not disparaging, but they're not optimized to work fast. They haven't worked in a startup before. They've never understood the speeds of a high speed scale up, for example. And so they can't speak the same language, operate at the same pace. And so we have kind of filled that gap in the ecosystem of entrepreneurs, business owners, and people who aren't necessarily in the VC network light, because that's a separate industry. It's quite like close knit, which is great as well. I love that community. But in the other community where people just they've bootstrapped or they've funded through revenue or they've grown without accepting external funding, like it's a completely different network. And that's, I guess, the reasons, as I said, the reasons why I found it hard being an employee are the reasons why it's like my superpower here at Zed and other businesses that we're launching. You got people in the room, the CTOs, the CEOs, CXOs, and when you're sitting in the room with those people and founders and the business development guys, and you see how their mind work and tick, it is so much. Lawyers like to think in a linear fashion. This was anything but. And so it was a really wonderful opportunity to be exposed to that level of gray matter. We're finding that there's a lot of, at the moment, like the VC activity, so venture capital deployment of funds activities picking up because of the FOMO that's associated with AI. And I think it's definitely going to be the case where the best and future law firm is going to be 5 gun legal operators or 10 good lawyers or whatever it may be, and then 100 AI agents, like an employment law agent, a commercial agent, an M&A agent, a CX agent, and they are super trained based on legal input training. But the fact that Harvey, in the space of like a year, has raised 3 separate occasions and done that to its valuation on the basis of future like demand and is incredible, like actually insane. It just shows that legal tech in time saving AI to do things that swathes of paralegals and junior lawyers would otherwise do is pretty telling. Instead of the legal industry saying, junior lawyers, you must learn how to draft this thing, or you must learn how to do the research here and do it yourself in the way that we used to, I don't think there's much point. That's trying to force us to use an anachronistic model in a very fast future tech enabled world. I think what needs to happen is the legal industry, junior lawyers will still be needed, but the legal industry would be one of, okay, these are the tools. We want you to become experts at using these tools to be able to get the 75% position. Then this is the process in which you have to adopt to verify that information. Before you provide it to your senior associate or your senior lawyer to review, you have to make sure that the output that you've generated using these tools, because you're probably better at using it than we are, is validated and vetted prior to you handing it up to your superior. And it's never actually one that's sent out to clients before that. And we've seen a lot of companies raise even just on an idea, like 0 MVP, 0 just concept.